Noise if you're having a good time so far.
I'm an artist. I'm a hip-hop artist as well as a fancy dancer. Some might say an activist, you know. I'm a husband, a father. I got 3 beautiful kids and 2 ugly ones, practicing comedian. Most people know me, Supaman, as the artist for infusing the culture, native culture with hip-hop music coming together in a visual and a musical way. I was born here in Seattle, but we grew up in Crow Agency, Montana, on the Crow Reservation. Being from Montana, there's not much resources for hip-hop, or you don't see nothing on TV. It's just like we loved hip-hop culture so much because, not only because it was cool and it was a good vibe, but like what the rappers were saying, like what those rappers were saying was like the voice of the oppressed, like what they were talking about was like what we as natives, what we go through. And so we were drawn towards that, we're drawn towards that because it kind of gave us a voice too. And so
why don't you help your brother when you see him fall? Why do we act like God don't see it all? Why do we call them black, them white, them Asian?
We just always thought we didn't have the right, to be MCs because we weren't from the inner city. We didn't have the accents, that they had. We weren't a part of their community, So we always thought we didn't have the right to be MCs until we saw other natives do it. And so when we saw these other rappers doing it, there's some other MCs out there doing it, and we were like, yo, these guys are doing it, I can do it too. And so that gave us the confidence, gave us like that push to say, hey, I can tell my story, through this culture as well. You see me, in my fancy dance regalia, and then you see the infusion of the hip-hop culture through looping. It wasn't always like that. I always kept a line between the cultures when I first started. I never put them together, because like where I come from, you don't do that. That you can't do that almost. You're like, no. We always just knew like we shouldn't do that until I got invited to Bozeman Native American Heritage Day because they knew I was a fancy dancer. Culture always came first before hip hop. I was a dancer since I was a little kid. I was in the powwow circle before I was into hip hop. We performed and it was all good. We displayed, talked about the history of that dance and all that, and then we got done and we went off stage to go change into our hip hop stuff, and we're going, and the lady goes, "Hey, where are you guys going?" I said, "Oh, we're gonna go change and come back and we'll change and rap for these guys." She's like, "No, we need you to go on right now. Our other presenter, didn't show up. We need you to go on. You're the last ones. Can you guys just go on right now?" So we're like, "All right." So we're in our outfits. We get up there. We turn on the beats. We start rapping in our outfits, and everybody's like, "What the hell's going on here? What is this?" Like it was unique and it was something new.
I pray for the ones listening right now, struggling, feel like giving it right now. I pray for you. Pray that you come back home. Pray that you understand.
And I saw one of our elders, from back home. He was walking over, and I was like, "Oh man, like he's coming over to scold us, And as he got closer, he took his hat off and he extended his hand and he said, "Grandson," he said, "I want to shake your hand. That was pretty damn powerful what you just did." He said, "You guys got up there and you showed all these people that you're proud to be Apsaalooké, proud to be that you're native, and you knew the stories of the dance and you displayed it in a good way. You knew where you came from. Then you spoke the language of those youth out there, which was hip hop, which was rap music, and they listened to you because of it. And you had something good to say." He said, "You're talking about being drug and alcohol free, being a good father and a good husband." He said, "That's powerful." He said, "You boys keep that up."
Peace to my daughter and wife, and yo, hold them up high, cause water is life. Hey, that's right, yo. People say say the flavor.
The Supaman show is something that you've never seen before, you know, like it's comedy, it's culture, it's, you know, good words, and then it's hip hop, and it's just improvisation, you know, it's a crowd interaction. That's how I build my performance, you know, is I don't want to bore the people with just nonstop hip hop. I want to do something different, you know, especially as a native, if I'm performing for a native community, you know, I want them to leave that performance, you know, feeling better about themselves, you know, feeling empowered, feeling, you know, happier and just in a good mood. To see the smiling faces of all ages, you see the elders smiling and laughing, all the way down to the little kindergartners, you know, doing the same thing, having that whole family atmosphere, and performing for the whole community, you know, communities like that, and just to see them enjoy themselves, you know, in that moment, because you know we don't have tomorrow, we don't have yesterday, you know, this is all we have is just, you know, right now in these moments. So to see, you know, my art, or you know what I do, you know, influence them in a positive way, it means the world to me, you know, to see that.
You can make all the way out, swing the sword for the Lord. The lion, the Zion, he roars his war. Let him know, learning lessons. Yo, there's a few things in my life, had to let him go. Goodbye, X and O's, always kept below. Stepping with weapons of blessings, now weapon crow. No confession, no, we just wreck and flow. Raw raps on horseback from Cold to New Mexico. The next episode.